Turn-based games has to be my favorite genre in video games so far, from quickly deciding how to take down a boss with your spells to even deciding when to heal at the right time and other things like that. I just like a lot of the little things about the genre, and in topic of this video, I think Final Fantasy IX actually has raised up to one of my favorite ones even after like about 15 hours of play. I'm not a super big fan of Final Fantasy. I play a bit of the games but never really finished them. I played a few hours of 3, 7, 10, and 15, and of course 9. But right now I think 9 has grabbed me the most so far. I've heard the reputation of this game kinda got shafted just because of the timing of everything. It was close to the PS2 release date, and along with everyone paying attention to Final Fantasy X since it was also announced for the PlayStation 2 when that was coming out. It didn't sell well originally, at least compared to the other Final Fantasy PS1 games. It really stinks that it didn't sell well originally, but when I played, I think it's really solid. And of course, this game is actually almost on like every system at this point. It's on Switch, PS4, PC, and pretty sure Xbox One. I'm not sure since I don't really go on the Xbox One, but it's on almost every system. But right now, I think we should actually get into the likes and dislikes. One of the things that I actually love about Final Fantasy IX has to be the graphics, both in the character models and the background. This game, among other PS1 games, used pre-rendered background, and honestly, that's actually something I really like about PS1 games, just because I feel pre-rendered backgrounds look a lot better than 3D ones in some cases, just because I think like in this case they can actually have lots of really small details, and like I just really like looking at the maps. Of course, we've advanced to the point where the 3D backgrounds can look really nice and really detailed, but like for the PS1, these ones look insanely detailed. And even for the backgrounds in the battles, I actually think those ones look really nice and just fit for the wherever area you're in. And then for the character models, obviously I think they look pretty good, but I'm not really a big fan of the GBS parts, but again, they still look really smooth and really well done. Then we actually have the actual gameplay, and I think for the most part it's handled well. It takes the active battle system from 7, and I think it works perfectly fine here. The active battle style has to be one of my favorite styles of turn-based gameplay, just because I think it allows you to strategize when to attack, when to heal, because the ball fills up and then you have to wait to attack. And it's not like it's based on speed, but it is based on speed just because of when the character moves. But you kind of get what I'm saying. Say if you hit an attack with Zidane and also Vivi, but then say Vivi's just a little bit faster, whole action will play out first, then she also starts charging whole thing first, so that's the whole point of what I'm trying to say. Now we actually move on to the story, and honestly I think Final Fantasy IX has a pretty good one so far. I've only played about 15 hours, but I think that as of now the story is actually pretty fun and pretty interesting. And then there's also the characters. I actually think that they actually are really well developed up to so far. I really like, again, characters like Vivi and Zidane. I think they're really good standouts for this game. I think that the later game will have way better moments with them, and I'm actually really hyped to see what happens with them later on. I'm not one to pay attention to much of a game's OST, but whenever I do pay attention, there are always at least 1 or 2 tracks that I just absolutely love. And for Final Fantasy IX, there was no different. The battle and boss themes I think are really good, and whatever town themes I can remember, I think they solve that area really nicely, and it's just a good fit. Now I think we should move on to the final thing I like about Final Fantasy IX, and that has to be the card game Tetra Master. It's just a side mode, but it's a side mode that I really like. You play it with random NPCs during the game, and it's actually not too hard to get most of the cards. All you have to do is win matches and also kill random enemies, and even the game isn't too hard to understand. All you have to do is line up arrows with monsters on the field, and either that, say for example, if there's a monster that has an arrow facing right, and then you also have a monster that has of the opposite direction, like facing left, then you have to battle out to see who wins. Or maybe you can take the monster for free, where say for example you have one facing up, but the target monster doesn't have an arrow facing down. You get to take that one for free, and then you increase your chances of winning. And I find this mode really fun, even though all you really get out of it is just an achievement on the Steam version. I don't know about the PS4 version, but obviously in the Steam version you might want to do it if you want to complete the game. Now I think we should move on to the dislikes of this game, and one of them has to be how slow this game is in combat. I feel like it takes about half a minute for the ball to fully complete itself, and and during that time you're just mostly staring at the background, or you're just waiting for the boss to attack you. And I don't really mind the long animations, it's just the ball takes so long to go, and it just ruins the pacing of some fights for me too. And honestly, let me just compare this game to Final Fantasy VII real quick. But in 7, I actually really do like the materia system. But unfortunately, Final Fantasy IX does not have a similar system, because in 7, if you don't know, the materia system was like you get to put any material on any person, and it change your stats a little bit. And I really like that customization, because you get to pick any material for any person. You get to customize them to hell with all that stuff. In Final Fantasy IX, every character has their own stick. Like Vivi is the mage, Steino is the physical attacker and stuff like that. And I know you can swap up your poly a little bit, but there's just not that deep of customization for them, and that kind of sucks for me. And I know there is Quina, but getting moves on her is kind of annoying. It can be done, it's just you have to go way out of your way to do it, but at least you have one character that can kind of be really customizable, at least if you try hard enough. Honestly, thinking of what I dislike about Final Fantasy was kind of hard. This game to me does a lot right with the characters, to the gameplay, and even the music. Some of the parts I can kind of accept, like not being able to customize your poly to the full extent like in Final Fantasy VII, but overall I still think this is pretty solid. I still have plenty to see in this game, but as of right now, I still 100% love it. But of course, before we finish the video, we have to go over the likes and dislikes. Likes, graphics, gameplay, character development, the Tetra Call game, and the OST. Dislikes, lack of customization on the skills, and really slow gameplay. But thank you guys for watching, and see you guys later.